Joseph Backhoe's the name. I want to tell you what happened when I hit San Francisco. Foggy nights and foggy days, hills and cable cars and bars everywhere. Spent a lot of time drinking, of course. A carefree life, long as I could make the money hold out. I left Los Angeles with a little, enough so I didn't have to ride the rails. I had borrowed a few bucks from Juliet, my last girlfriend. Well, to be perfectly honest, I took it out of her purse before I headed to Union Station. Desperate times call for desperate actions. I had a girlfriend already, Mei Ling. She used to work as a telephone girl in the Chinatown Exchange. Now she was older and worked as a hostess in one of the clubs. She would have liked to dance at Forbidden City or Shanghai Lows, but she said her legs weren't quite long enough. She showed me all the traditional ways of Chinatown. And she told me about where she had come from when she was a baby. I could see why her parents would want to be here. When we weren't together, I picked up a little work moving crates in the big wholesale produce market, or sometimes roused about work over at Fisherman's Wharf. And I kicked around town, riding the trolleys, walking through the fancy hotel lobbies, imagining I'm some kind of a swell, or trying to teach myself a little history by looking at the murals. They had them all over the city. But it wasn't enough. Mei Ling saw I had the blues, and she sent me to an herbalist named Feng Wan, who had a little shop around the corner. I went, listened to the guy's advice, bought some herbs, took them back to my room. That's when the trouble really started. First, a scraping on the surface of my mind, like a rat trapped in the wall. Then there were strange flashes, like weird splinters of memory. But I didn't know if they were mine, or if they belonged to someone else. And some I knew were mine, like when I was a kid. Back in Yuma, my mom and dad would threaten to send me out to the cotton fields to work, like the kids I knew who spent all their summer days with the Mexicans under the blazing hot sun. Never, ever, ever again. After a while, pretty places started showing up in my head, which was good, but it started me thinking, maybe I should be somewhere else, or someone else. Maybe I'm tired of being me. Let's face it, sometimes I feel like a whipped puppy that's being kicked over and over, for no reason that I can tell. I don't even nip at anyone's heels.
I'm always drunk in San Francisco.
You get the idea where I was headed. When I got back to what passes for normal, I went on a 4-day tear. It was coming up on Christmas, but I didn't care. I sat, hour after hour, in that bar I had adopted as mine, listening to all the talk and singers warbling about lost love and every other damn depressing thing you can imagine. It was then that I got the word from Mei Ling about our future, or lack of it. I was only just realizing how well she understood me, and here I was back on a train, heading north again, Christmas Eve day. Her brothers told her she could not go out with a white man anymore. And besides, there was gonna be a Tong War or something. I don't know what that meant. So, our forbidden love was finished. But there was a Chinatown up in Portland and in Seattle, and there were Chinese restaurants in Redding, Klamath Falls, Eugene, every 2-horseburg up to the Canadian border. With my newfound taste for the Oriental, I could make my way in the world. Couldn't I?